Hello, everyone. This is Anonymous Addiction at My Truth About AA. This is Bobby C. And today we're going to be talking about tradition six. We just got done tradition 5. Joey C and myself on the last podcast, we did 5 and 6 together, but I'm going to do a short one today. Now let's get right into it. In the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, way in the back, page 565, way in the back of the big book. Tradition 6 is longer than in the 12 and 12 in the tradition 6. It's kind of crazy, but I'm gonna read it. It's kind of long, but I'm gonna read it. Problems of money, property, and authority may easily divert us from our primary spiritual aim. We think, therefore, that any considerable property of genuine use to AA should be, here's the part I want you to listen to, separately incorporated and managed. They already, this was written, what, 4 years after Bill and Bob met. They're already, this was well designed way back then. This was a well-designed plan. The sole purpose wasn't for money. It had nothing to do, the structure had nothing to do with the power of money. It had to do with the power outside of the organization. That's where the money people controlled everything, was outside. They constructed this organization, they designed it, created it way back then, and to be able to control the alcohol recovery industry outside of the pyramid of Alcoholics Anonymous, even though there's tons of money being made inside, as I talk about, tons of money. I mean, the president of World Service, Jeffrey Toblin, he makes $280,000 a year. But that's here. I'm going to read some more. Separately incorporated and managed, thus dividing the material from the spiritual. So they're saying in the AA triangle is the spiritual. They put you in the middle, but don't go out of that triangle. And the material is outside of it. And I'll get into the material. An AA group as such should never go into business. Secondary aids to AA, such as clubs or hospitals, which require much property or administrative, ought to be incorporated also. They don't mind being incorporated on the outside, as long as it's connected. See, this is designed so everything from the outside sends everything to the inside of the pyramid, through the courts, through the hospitals, through the government. Hence, such facilities ought not to use the name AA. Their management should be the sole responsibility of these people who financially support them. For clubs, AA managers are usually preferred. They already figuring this all out way back then. Of course, the 12 and 12 was written 17 years after this. So, the Rockefeller Foundation and all the advisors and all the connections to Rockefeller created this, designed this. They knew exactly what was going to, this is the new temperance movement. This is the new Rockefeller's temperance movement, okay? They create these 12-step organizations, Alcoholics Anonymous and NA and all the 12-step groups, just so they can send all the school, the education, the courts, the government. But hospital, as well as other places, recuperations ought to be well outside AA and medically supervised. While an AA group may cooperate with anyone, Such cooperation ought never go as far as affiliation or endorsement, actually or implied. An AA group cannot bind itself to no one. They don't want to be attached to nothing, but everything from the outside can be attached to it. Okay, so when I talk about it's a well-designed plan, main purpose wasn't really for the money, but it was for the power, prestige, and control, for the wealthy to control the addiction recovery, which is a multi-billions dollars. Here it's short. In the 12 and 12, it just says AA group ought never endorse, finance, or lend the AA name to any related facility or outside enterprise, lest problems of money, property, and prestige divert us from our primary purpose. It's kind of shorter and sweeter, but here's the same deal. They didn't want AA to get involved in any of the things that are created on the outside, because at that time, all the schools, all the professionals, all the doctors, all the lawyers, all the courts, all the Hollywood, all the media were promoting it from the outside and promoting everybody to send them to Alcoholics Anonymous. They knew. All the hospitals, it says right here, hospitals, education, schools, medical, textbooks, judges, medicine, religion, politics. They knew that they were going to send them all because they were promoting this for years and years. I mean, the disease of alcoholism it's over 200 years, the labeling of alcoholism, the design. But Rockefeller seen Bill had something and he backed him. Alcoholics Anonymous wasn't self-supporting for years and years and years later. And who do you think helped? And then they go into the story. They always go into stories to make one story, just one story. But this gets me. I never heard anything like this before, and I'm going to be talking about this stuff, but this gets me. Was put to the some of the great distilling companies, alcohol companies and distilling companies, proposed to go into the field of alcohol education. Yeah, sure they did. It would be a great thing, they believed, for the liquor trade to show a sense of public responsibility for the devastating consequences it has on society today. It's crazy. This was way back then, like 78 years ago. They're talking about this 80 years ago. They wanted you to say that liquor could be enjoyed. Oh yeah, they can enjoy it, but not misused. Hard drinkers ought to slow down, and problem drinkers, alcoholics, should not drink at all. They want us to believe that this was going on back then. Do you see anybody saying, any alcohol industry, any alcohol advertisement saying any of this stuff? So this one guy, they're talking about this one guy breaking his anonymity, going into this company, and kind of because he was a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, they're telling him he went to New York, and they were saying, "No, you shouldn't do this. You shouldn't break your anonymity." Had nothing to do with the whole tradition, but it has to do with breaking his anonymity at the public level. Do you know anybody that breaks their anonymity at the public level? Right? Any movie stars? Anybody else you know? Any movies? No, you don't know any movie stars that break their anonymity about the rehabs and stuff. This isn't a story about the group, but it's a story about anonymity, and it's a story about promoting going into business. But at the end here, it says one thing. It says, nevertheless, we pointed out, you still have a legal right to take this job. Legally, they can't. Legally, they could not tell them not to take the job. This is all inside promotion. Anonymity is the spiritual foundation of a program, ever reminding us of this place principles before personalities. When they talk about principles, that's what they're talking about, the 12 steps, 12 traditions, 12 concepts, their principles, Alcoholics Anonymous principles, not my principles, their principles. So I just wanted to go in a little deeper with this coercive persuasion of guilt and shame, making us believe that, oh, we are so great. The pyramid of Alcoholics Anonymous is so good. We only believe in attraction. We only believe in attraction, when they know darn well that all the outside organizations that were created before and during the creation of the pyramid to be able to promote and send all the people from all the treatment centers, from all the courts, from all the rehabs, from all the halfway houses and everywhere else. Where do they send them? To Alcoholics Anonymous. So I just wanted to touch base on that tradition 6. And remember what I told you before, subliminal and osmosis. If you don't go to tradition meetings, it doesn't matter. You're getting this stuff no matter whether you like it or not. It's going to come into that brain, assimilate into the brain gradually. And it gets there unconsciously through the subconscious. So everybody, tradition 6. Next week, Joey and I will be doing 7 and 8. So take care, everybody. Just wanted to touch base and do a little short one for tradition 6. Take care, everybody. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe to Anonymous Addiction and like us. Thank you so much. Talk to you later. Bye.